Hi, my name is Nick Channon. I'm the senior producer on FIFA 15.
So let's start by talking about what your goals were heading into this new game.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, the big thing for us is we want to take our visuals to a new level, and we've been working on new physically based rendering system for a couple of years now, and we felt this is the right year to bring it in. On top of that, it was really about creating a game that felt obviously incredibly authentic, and last year we did a lot of changes around our presentation system that's now completely AI driven. It meant we can tell the story any way we want. There's no scripted sequences in terms of non-interactive sequences that we had to rely on in the past. Well, what we felt was the players weren't really showing the emotion, that intensity that you would get from a football game. They weren't reacting as naturally as you would see. So that was something we really wanted to, put a lot of emphasis in on, just in terms of, tracking at how all 22 players react, how they react to each other, their teammates, the opposition, really creating a sense of believability that we've never had before. And then sort of finally, really, obviously listening to feedback around, from consumers, from our community, and really, one of the things they talked about was a little lack of responsiveness. People liked what we did with the locomotion changes last year, but wanted a little bit more responsiveness. So we've looked at that in just the player turns, but we've also looked about across the game. So also fluidity in passing, also responsiveness in tackling, and then more variety in AI as well, making sure that the AI is playing as if the two of us were playing. There's more variety. You have to think about what you're doing. If you're up 1-0 in the last 10 minutes, you're going to play differently than you would at the beginning of the game. I want the AI to feel like that. Feel like you're playing more human.
Can you talk a little about the AI from the perspective of playing as a team? For instance, when someone misses an obvious shot and how that impacts reaction?
Yeah, so the reactions themselves, it's depending on the game. So the players now have the context of the game, the situation within it. So again, like for the first 5 minutes of the game, a goal goes in. Obviously everyone's going to be happy, but they're going to react very differently if it's like a game winner right in the last minute. The players now know that. They know that context, and the animations will change. It could be a game-saving challenge at the end of the game that's really, really important. Teammates are going to surround the player that, just made that tackle. So, really reacting differently to the context of the game itself.
Can you talk a little about the stadiums and how you're bringing uniqueness to each experience?
Yeah, so one of the things that, obviously the visuals themselves, the new rendering that we're doing changes the look of the game dramatically and really helps bring that believability into the stadium itself. What we're also doing around is crowds as well. We brought 3D crowd in last year, which we felt was again really important, and we could only do it, with the power of the new consoles. We want to bring more personality. So you see the Cop of Anfield, that they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and not only do you hear it, it's tied to the visuals now. They put the scarves up as they do. You get the yellow wall in Dortmund. You get them bouncing up and down in the Bombonera. So again, we want the AI to feel different, so they play differently against you, but we want every game to feel different. A meaningless game at the end of the season is going to feel very different this year than a massive game, to win the title or to win a cup.
When it comes to the visual fidelity, give us a sense of how big a jump it is from the first generation of next gen to now this second wave.
Well, it's a really big jump. So all the player models in the game have been completely reworked. They look more athletic, they look more toned, but the new rendering system is a night and day difference. We're now rendering the world much more naturally. We're looking at the physical properties of the world itself, which has just given us a fidelity and an improvement, even just in the players, the resolution that you now see within the player's face. And then we've added in all the lots of little details, like you now see all the footprints. We're tracking every footstep of every player, so you see all the footprints build up, and it's amazing how more realistic the game feels. It doesn't look as flat. Even a slide, you see slide tackle, you'll see those slide marks, you'll see the dirt on the kits. And all the little details. We never even, if the ball hit the corner, you couldn't hit the corner flag before. So now it can. That's now in physics. The goals will now rattle, just helping that sense of believability. And a lot of having things in physics again, we just couldn't do previously.
From the actual gameplay experience itself, how do you feel that has moved forward?
Well, I think the big thing that everyone's noticing when playing it, and we're really happy with that they are, is the fact that the responsiveness, the feel of the game. The game feels like it's very fluid as well. The work we've done around the contacts, how you move with the ball, the ball now, the foot and the ball we're now looking at very realistically. And that looks really nice. The synergy is really nice between foot and ball. It's had a profound effect on the fluidity and feel in passing. The fact now you've got more control around tackling. It's across the whole spectrum of the game. You feel you're much more in control, and the level of responsiveness is something we're just really, really happy with.